Alan, we both saw Sonic the Hedgehog 3, obviously the third film in the series. Uh, I like the first movie.
Mhm.
I think the second movie had some problems. I think the one thing people agree, they got Sonic the Hedgehog right. They got the
Mhm.
character right, the design, the voice acting. Um, I think the second film suffered from too much in the human story. It reminds me of when I watched Godzilla movies as a kid. It's like, get to Godzilla. I don't need to see so much of the humans. But I feel like in this movie they got the balance right. While the human characters play a part, they don't dominate. It's enough of a balance of I just want to see Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and of course the
Shadow.
character everyone's very excited about, voiced by Keanu Reeves, Shadow. Alan, give me the basics of the story, which isn't even, I'm not
Yeah.
going to say it's not important, but I'll say this. It's accurate to the game. Accurate to the game, with the exception of maybe what the fate of a certain character. But it's, if you play the game, this movie's kind of dark because there's a reason Shadow carries uh so
Such
much
hatred.
anger. Yeah. Tell me about it.
Tell you about it. Okay, for someone who's not played the game, I will tell you about this movie. Essentially, Shadow is being held in stasis at the what's it called, Gun Command Center, and he escapes thanks to some hacking, and he has vowed to destroy not only Sonic but the world itself because of a wrong that happened to him. A young girl that he became very fond of at the lab. When the lab was destroyed, she died, and that's why he holds so much anger. Meanwhile, on the other side of the planet, you have Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles with Tom and Maddie going on a camping trip, and they're celebrating Sonic's third year being here on Earth. And in the midst of all that, something horrible happens. A world-ending cataclysmic event is possibly going to occur. And the only way they can stop it and stop Shadow, who is somewhat behind it, is to team up with Dr. Robotnik. And the four of them go and try to save the world. And many twists and turns happen along the way.
Yeah.
I'll just say this about the movie.
Yeah.
I do not remember the first movie. I do not remember the second movie. And we were doing this we began this live stream when the first movie came out. The third one, I had a really good time with the third one.
Yeah.
Shadow, the stakes were so high with Shadow. It was just one of those, this is not a cartoon character. Keanu Reeves just brings such a gravitas to it. And then and look, let's be honest. All three movies succeed because of Jim Carrey. And Jim Carrey kind of plays a dual role in this movie. And this was his best performance yet.
Oh my God.
Robotnik.
There were so many good lines. There are meta lines. Not so much. It doesn't go as far as like Deadpool and Wolverine, but it has lines that are out of the blue, calling out BS.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey plays his own grandfather in the movie.
Yeah.
So it's Jim. He is on fire. This is the role Jim Carrey was born to play. It's over the top by design. And the relationship,
and it goes over the top.
The relationship between Dr. Robotnik and his grandpa is hilarious. They try to like make up for time by experiencing every holiday and what they missed. That sequence was so funny. And
I had to point out to my daughter, hey, the song they're playing, that's Bob Dylan they're playing.
Right. It's the movie is aware of itself. Unlike Mufasa, which only works for single digit age kids, this movie works for kids and adults.
Yeah.
Okay.
But younger skewing kids.
Yeah, it's aware of itself. Adults will not be bored. It's not 2 hours. It's like hour 40. There's 2 post-credit scenes.
Yeah, we missed the second one.
I didn't miss it. I'm telling you, that sets up a 4, they better make the part 4. It's accurate to the game. Most of the events, including things in the third act that are so over the top as to be crazy. They went there. A giant weapon that could destroy the earth, like the Death Star. I mean, but the way they treat it. So serious events are treated very seriously.
Mhm.
Like Shadow's relationship with a young girl is treated seriously. It's not taken lightly or breezed over. And then other things like Dr. Robotnik is over the top and funny. There's a sequence that's really funny where they have this gravity where either it pushes you up or brings you down to the floor. So they're constantly like they're trying to fight
No
with
gravity or heavy gravity.
no gravity or heavy gravity. That sequence is so good. And I
that's a
gotta
video
say,
game sequence. That could
this
be
this might be one of the best video game movies ever made in terms of accuracy, tone, balance between real world human characters and video game characters, events, fun. It's just fun. I would say it's better than Super Mario because Super Mario I thought was pretty safe by the numbers, not really risky. This movie took risks
yeah.
and got goofy, but the goofy wasn't annoying and it was so quick. Like, okay, and then it's done. I feel like Sonic 2 got too the human stories kind of dragged the film. And this you really are getting there's a balance.
Yeah.
Balance. Team Sonic or the evolving Team Sonic along with the humans, which you got to have them because what? They're on Earth, it's the real world, whatever, but there are really specific deep cut call outs in the movie that I didn't notice. I was hanging with some friends. My friend Walter, my friend Bobby. We're hanging out from Dual Animal Studios. Love those guys.
Yeah. Well,
And there's a specific reference to a monster on the TV that is such a deep cut, and they were telling me so. I loved it, had a great time. One of, if not the best video game movies I've seen.
Yeah.
And even for people who don't like, I look, I'm a casual gamer. Some games I played a lot of the Sonic games, quite frankly. This makes me want to play the Sonic game again. I've been a gamer all my life, starting with the Atari 2600. I've owned every game system up to now. I'm just PS5, all about the PS5. But God, I had a blast with this movie. And it was packed. The audience was packed, and guess what was empty?
Mufasa. Yeah.
Mufasa was in the IMAX empty. I was in the laser, which is a great screen, no complaints. I mean, it was amazing, and it was packed. Even the first 3 rows, everyone was packed. We all got posters. It was a great time at the movies.
Yeah, let me just chime in. I'm on the opposite end. Look, I never owned a Sega Genesis, so I never played Sonic. I was an Xbox guy, and
Sure.
So me coming in this movie, if you go on my X feed, the first thing I said was I showed a picture of the popcorn buckets. I'm really not looking forward to this movie. I was underwhelmed by the first one. Definitely didn't care about the second one. And I have to admit, at the end of this one, it's like I had a really good time watching this movie. And my daughter came along, and she was similar. She was not wanting to see this movie. She wanted to get some of the Cajun fries from Regal. So we watched it. So let me speak to parents with young children. Our theater was about 3/4 filled, most of it children. When the movie ended, every single child began cheering and clapping for this movie. They absolutely fell in love with this movie. And so if you have a child, I can tell you your kids are going to love this movie.
But the adults will have a good time.
Yeah. No, I definitely had a good time.
Jim, there's a great line. Oh my God. One of the best, by the way, it's not woke at all. One of the best things, one quick thing. Dr. Robotnik's grandfather says this one line. This one character walks in. It's a woman, dressed in military garb, and that's great. A woman in the military, and it gets a big laugh. I mean, it's not woke. It's super fun. It's just, I'll probably go see it again. I had a good time, and everyone I was with all bought the buckets. They all got the Sonic buckets. They will be
sitting one or the head one?
The head one of the blue,
Okay.
of Sonic. It's going to be those buckets will be gone this weekend. That's it. They're gone. Wow, I had fun. I want to have fun at the movies, you know.
Especially if I'm being forced to watch a kids movie for our live stream.
Mufasa was a slog.
Oh.
What a in contrast, having seen Mufasa on Monday, seen this last night. Wow, the stark contrast, one being fun and both kids and adults can watch it, Mufasa being just a deadly dull bore. So yeah, strong recommend for Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yeah, and Jim Carrey.
He better be in part 4. I mean, they somehow have to bring him back.
Yeah, I can't imagine them making this movie without him.
They cannot. He's a good balance because he's so loathsome.
Yeah,
he's a great villain. He's a great foil.
Yeah,
and then, you know what it seems? He seems like he's having a really good time playing this character.
Yeah, he goes full Jim Carrey in this.
Oh, he's full Jim, but that's what the character needs.
Yeah, that's what kids love. Kids love that stuff.
Yeah.
And the Shadow.
I'll say
it over and over and over again. Kids can handle serious subjects.
They can handle serious subjects.
In fact, and I don't know why we can't bring. I mean, Walt Disney brought serious subjects into his movies. Why can't we go back to that and just trust that not only can kids handle it, but they can resonate with those things as well.